couple of days ago I got a message from somebody who said, look, I don't understand what master slave is with lights. I've tried to Google it and look it up and nothing relevant has popped up, so could you do a video on it? And at first I thought, wow, that's pretty basic, but I guess we all have to start somewhere, so here's a quick video on master slave. Now the term sounds kind of weird if you've never heard it before. It sounds like some kind of slavery thing from way back. Well, it's not really what it is. It's more of a copycat thing or a Simon Says kind of thing when it comes to lighting. Basically what you want to do is you want to make all your lights do the same thing or a similar thing. We'll get into that in a little bit. Let's just do the basics. Back here I've got an American DJ Megabar 50 RGB and I've got it on a slow color fade and I like this. Now let's say I had these lights strategically placed throughout a room. I wanted them all to do the same thing at the same time, but I didn't want to run a DMX controller. There's an easy way to do it, and that way is master slave. All you have to do with most fixtures is make your first fixture, your master fixture, do whatever you want it to do. Make it whatever color you want it, make it do whatever phase you want, flashes you want, whatever. And then you move on to your next fixture, which is going to be your slave, or your first slave fixture. I'm going to crawl over here, and I'm going to plug in this next fixture. There we go. Now, it's not doing the same thing this one is, for a couple of different reasons. Number one, I don't have a DMX cable connecting the two, which I'm going to need to do. And number two, I do not have this fixture set to slave. There are a couple of different ways to set a fixture to slave. Sometimes it says slave right on the fixture, as it does with these. Other times, sometimes it's DMX address 1 is slave. But on these, all you have to do is press a little LCD menu until you see the word slave, S-L-A-V, and you're on slave. So I'm doing that now. Bam, it says slave. Now I take a DMX cable, and it's always important to use DMX cable, otherwise you get mixed signals sometimes on whatever it's trying to send, whatever this master is trying to send to the slave. I'm going to plug this into the DMX out of the master. I'm going to plug this into the DMX in of the slave. Now they're doing the same thing. Now I'm going to turn the camera a little bit and you're going to see that I've got a third fixture here that I'm going to slave up to. Same thing. Plug it in. Now hit the little LED menu button on here until it says slave. Whoops, I passed it. There it is, slave. Get yourself another DMX cable. Link from your first slave to your second slave. Or plug into the DMX. Whoops, I got that backwards. Here we go. Yeah, where are we? There we go. DMX out. DMX in. And bam. We've got three fixtures, master, slave. Copycat, Simon Says, whatever you want to call it. This one over here is our master, and these two are slaves. Now you could hook several slaves up if you want to. You can do 20, 30, 40 of these things sometimes. It'll say in your manual how many you can master slave together. Just a quick note, when you're using master slave, almost all of the time you have to use identical lighting fixtures. What I mean is you can't take an American DJ Megabar 50 and master slave it with an American DJ Par 64 Pro LED. It's not going to work. You got to use identical fixtures. Once in a while you get lucky, like the Megabars and the Megabar 50s, I've been able to kind of master slave with limited success, but most of the time you are going to need identical lighting fixtures. Now what we have here are a set of LED moving heads. These are the Visi LED spots from American DJ. And you can see they're not exactly doing the same thing, but they're working together, and I used master slave to achieve this. First of all, what did I have to do? Just like with the Megabar 50, I took my master, which is right here, and I told it what I wanted it to do with the internal programs via the LCD menu. Now, if you've got fixtures with dip switches, you can switch the dip switches for internal programs as well. There's probably a guide online you can look at to show you what your fixture does with whatever dip switch settings you select. The next thing I had to do was link this fixture with that fixture, the master with the slave. And then I had to set the slave up to be the slave. There was no slave option when I flipped through the LCD menu. What you had to do with this, and I had to find this out by calling tech support, is you have to set this fixture right here to DMX channel 1. If you've got 10 of these things, set them all to DMX channel 1. They will all be slaves. Now, you notice we have pan, which does this. We have tilt, which does this. I wanted to do like a crisscross effect. I thought that was kind of cool. So what I did was, I selected pan on the slave fixture and I inverted it, which means it does the opposite of the master. It achieves this effect right here. Now, if you had multiple slaves, you can invert some, you can leave some alone, create a pretty cool effect. But I left the tilt the same. It creates that crisscross effect. So that's master-slave in a nutshell. Simon says, follow the leader, copycat, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty easy stuff, and that's how it's done. If you got any questions, please let me know right here in the comment section. I'd be happy to help. Practice and enjoy.